It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's time for another exciting adventure into the land of customization and toy restoration right here on Choppin Shop. As always, I am your host, Scott Summers, because my eyes are on flippin' fire. No, this is Dave. How's it going? Tonight I'm joined by some of my very favorite people in the whole wide world. You know him as the bean hating the toy killing son of a gun. I know him as my good friend, the madman of Minneapolis. That's right, it's Matt Lynn. What up, Matt?
Hey.
Oh, look at that drawer. So meticulous. And coming to us from the land of magic hands and tugboats, he is my web-headed temptress. God damn it, Cory. Hi, Cory from Casting Cave. Hi, buddy. Oh.
Yeah, it's Cory from Casting Cave. Where else would I come from? Hey, look at this. I got some little bitty stickers.
I saw you had a shirt too.
I got a shirt. Yeah, I got a rep. Gotta look good. But I got some stickers. I'm gonna have to send you one.
I'm for it. They'll go on the wall.
I got some business cards too.
Yeah, Cory, I'm gonna need some of them Spidey heads. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, this one's pretty cool. This is like an MVC style.
I like it. I'm actually gonna be working on some MVC stuff tonight. But real quick,
badass.
I do want to give a big shout out to everybody who chimed off in the chat already. The COJ's already coming in hot. We got Shakes coming in first. We got Fortnite, Stanley's Toy Channel, Goofballs in there, Pendergast, Panther, Jamie Lynn, 3M5000. How's it going? Yes, that's right, Fortnite. Gadzoots, Cory has merch. Don't we all? But well, we kind of do actually, which is cool. But we might have one more joining. I haven't gotten any response from our mystery man yet, but that's okay. It's Emilio. Spoiler. But yeah, he. I shot him a message and I shot him a text just saying, "Hey, want to hop on?"
Yeah. Hey, come on, get in here.
We'll see if he does or not. I know he's a busy feller too. Emilio and Jerry Lynn's voice. Madeline.
Get Emilio, in here, Emilio.
Messages. I send you a link to come play. That's right. Oh no, you're an OBS symbol. Go away. Come back when you learn how.
Dave, did you get one of these?
What? Oh,
did you get one of these?
I did not. I actually messaged Wade about it, and he's like, "I only got a couple of messed up ones left." And I'm like,
"What? He only has? Oh, that son of a bitch!
I don't know.
He should have had a pile of them. I sent that dude so many. All right, I'll make sure you get one."
Okay, I was just like, I just want one for my Keshi shelf because, like, legit the other day. Oh, never mind. They're up on the other room. I went over to my buddy Steven Beal's place, and he was unloading a bunch of stuff, and I found some like monsters in my pocket, and what else was in there?
Whoa.
I picked up some alien muscle figures from, like, I think Super 7 did them. Emilio, you're still at OBS.
Cool.
I'm gonna kick you from the studio, and then you can come back in.
Fix it. Yeah, fix it, Emilio. I believe in you.
Panther says, "Hey, look, it's a full-size meeple." I actually am very excited about I've been on a Keshi kick. Which reminds me,
cool. Yeah.
Cory, I have the
Who you got? Which one?
The muscle that you thought was really cool. I put it aside for you. I just gotta send it down.
My guys, my Kaniku guys are Robin Mask, Warsman, Buffalo Man, and I love Ramen Man.
It's the
Buffalo Man's a shit. I love him.
Busted,
yes, fuck yes.
So I have that one set aside for you. I haven't gotten a chance to send it. And I'm hoping because this week's a really short one because literally Thursday morning I fly up to BakkenCon up in Williston, North Dakota. And
what is BakkenCon?
It is a first-year show, and I'm actually pretty stoked. One of my buds from the Fargo shows is running it. Got the city behind it, which is super dope. And I'm gonna go up and hang out with a couple of my buddies. So that'll be dope. And I guess I have a couple extra days up there because I'm flying in Thursday.
Whoa, cool.
Sunday. Hi, Emilio. Now we can see you.
Yay!
It's Emilio.
There we go. It works.
Also, congratulations on your 500 episodes.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, 500 episodes of Throwdown Show. We've been doing our little video game podcast. Well, officially, we've been doing it since 2013 or a little bit before. So this is the 500th episode of the second iteration of Throwdown Show, which was we had a bunch of stuff happen. We used to belong to a site called STFU and Play, and the head of the site is like, I'm going to leave the game industry. He had been working in the game industry since like the early 90s, as covering games. So, we moved on, and one of our so that we sort of reconfigured and we could coalesce and did the show on everything. And we used to do these because we would have a combination. We used to do like pop culture and news and not news, but like video game stuff, all this stuff. So we kind of cut it down to video games, and then we also used to do question show, but it would make our shows like crazy long. So what we did was we chopped them in half. So on Thursdays we have Throwdown Show, which is the video game show, and then then Sunday is the question show for all the fans. Nice. So we theoretically we theoretically have 1,000 episodes because we do 2 episodes per week per week.
Damn.
And we haven't missed an episode.
Panther says,
really?
Doing podcasts since the day podcasting equipment was invented. Who are you?
I mean, there's some guys that are way older. The guy Torrance Davis, who used to, who was the head of STFU and Play, he used to have a show called what is it? It's called. I'm totally blanking on the name of the show. But yeah, he used to do a show, and his show was like one of the early podcasts, like done on like real audio and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, I forgot to run around and see what everybody was working on. I see Matt digging through a bin. Or no, what are you cutting? Oh, you got the Warlord.
I did.
Warlord.
Very cool.
Oh, I saw someone else got a Warlord today too.
Mine apparently is out for delivery, but it has not made it yet. So I don't think it's coming.
How we feeling about it not being gold like the cover?
Okay with it.
He was silver in the book, right?
I guess I'm ambivalent because it's not a look that I have a huge attachment to. It just seems like a figure.
Cory, what you working on outside of
playing with Odious? But Wade asked if I would cast up the sockets from inside of the Odious heads, and I think it's for something he's working on. But like I am trying to put one of the factory heads back on the figure.
Yeah.
And man, it is tough. Anyone else that has this figure knows that those sockets are real hard. However, this PMC rubber that I casted these in,
pop.
It's perfect.
Pop,
it's
pop, pop.
Freaking perfect. And these are, I just copied them. I asked him, I was like, you want me to build a socket because those don't work very well? He's like, no, they should be all right. Just cast it in a softer material. So, boom. Look at that, man. I'm really happy with how smooth these came out. Yeah, it's awesome. And I noticed this. It is the same size as the Mafex Spider-Man bag.
Oh, that's interesting.
Hey, yeah.
Spider Odious.
Yeah, Spider
Odious.
Spodious.
That just sounds filthy. I am working on a David Tenant head sculpt. That's from
nice.
Big Chief head. So I'm just getting all the base colors down right now, and I have a couple other smaller projects to do. But then I also have I got in the Walmart retro carded Venom, and it fucking rules.
Damn, I forgot that I had one on order for you.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, man.
You have an extra one, Matt?
Apparently, yeah.
I hear there's somebody in
Sell it to me.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
He doesn't want, but I'm sorry, Matt.
Oh, it's fine.
It's all right. I'm here.
I was like, Cory's got you covered. because I fucked up. But I'm going to repaint the 3-pack version into the Marvel vs. Capcom blue.
Whoa, cool.
Because I think I've always loved that color scheme, and I thought it would be fun to have that on the shelf.
Some work.
So that'll be tedious, but not more tedious than painting the 10th Doctor's fucking hair. Jesus.
Well, what are you talking about? Timey-wimey.
But yeah, this is the sculpt's really. I mean, the cool thing is this is from an unproduced Big Chief figure. Like
Cool.
there's a dude on Etsy that it is not outright said, but people are thinking that it was probably someone who worked within Big Chief, because there's a bunch of these sculpts on there. Oh shit, that's cool too. God dang it.
Yeah, this is a beat up one.
Yeah, I'm always a sucker for battle damage.
Pretty clean.
But yeah. So Tenant's like my doctor, so it's one of those things of I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna paint this up, and it might replace the existing head that's already on my because I have a Big Chief 10th Doctor. So it's like this head sculpt is better. What? Griff Rider says Sploo. Neil says, hey Cory, is there a character you want to do but haven't yet?
Oh. Yeah, I want 7 Samurai figures. Bad. I want 7 Samurai. I want all of the like spaghetti westerns. I would love a Lee Van Cleef figure. Especially after watching we watched a film. It's got multiple titles. I think it's called The Stranger and the Gunfighter, and it was a collaboration between the spaghetti western cinema and the Shaw Brothers, the Asian cinema company. And it is a kung fu western with Lee Van Cleef, and it's amazing. And it has...
I was at one of the antique... Like they do a big antique sale thing at the fairgrounds a couple times a year. And I was there, this was years ago, and they priced it what it was worth, so I don't have it. But it was the theater poster from that.
Whoa!
Like, oh man, I really want that. And I'm like, $500 bad.
Do you know about the plot for the film?
No, I didn't even care. I was just like, I want that.
Okay. It's kind of like that Jackie Chan and is that Owen Wilson?
High Noon.
It's kind of like that, but the premise is that the main character's uncle was living in America and he was hiding this like treasure. And what he did was he was like a masseuse / healer and a tattoo artist, and he kept tattooing women's butts, and they didn't know what it said. And it's amazing because when the film starts, Lee Van Cleef is breaking into a safe, and he's like, he's gonna blow open this safe, and this little man comes running in, this man Wang. He runs in, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Don't do that!" And he runs into the safe and blows up, right? Well, then he dies, and they're like, "We don't know how to get your uncle's treasure." And so throughout the course of the film, they're trying to locate women that have tattoos on their butts. So, it is basically it's the quest for booty is this film, and it's amazing. I had so much fun watching it.
I feel like
how's it going, Damion?
I feel like you could take that plot and just use it with,
any film,
like the 2000s or whatever, and just have it be, women with like kanji or Chinese
tramp stamps.
Way to modernize it.
Tramp Stamp Treasure, the movie.
Cory, Tony in the chat said, "Did you see all the skeleton clothes from CJ?"
Oh my God, there's so much stuff. It's very expensive though.
Samurai.
Yeah.
Get one of those. Get samurai skeleton.
Heck yeah.
I wonder how they did it to gave that to Lee Van Cleef's like. So Lee,
with
we want you to be in this movie
with a bottle.
But
I think they're like, here's the script. It's wrapped around this bottle of expensive stuff, and he's like, fine.
He's like, I'm pretty sure in his contract he was just like, all right, but I'm not wearing a shirt throughout the second half of the film because that's what happened.
For a second, I thought you were going to say he was the master again.
Well, that's the twist. As it turns out, he's got the last piece.
He's the ninja master
on his butt.
Yeah.
On his butt.
Deep, like, I definitely have a kanji tattoo on my shoulder. He's painting my head today. Tano, your heads are up in the garage right now. They came in and they had, I don't know what was in the box, but they smelled really strongly, and I tried priming them and they were bubbling. So I scrubbed them down and they are drying right now. So
what did he send you?
There is a Hannibal. There's a Hannibal, there's a Murdoch, there's a Bo,
nice.
And a Duke Brothers.
That's cool. Who's making those?
I don't know. Tano, where did you? No worries, Tano. Tano, where did you get the heads from?
I believe he got them from Collectible Carnage.
Okay.
Cool.
Etsy. Because I know he had I had mentioned that, or he had asked me where those were available at some point in the past. So yeah, I think it's Collectible Carnage.
Right on.
Very cool. Let's see. All right. Time to get to work.
What's this?
Time to work. Time to paint.
I don't know. There's a lot of painted stuff on there already.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I've knocked out that batch of Spidey heads.
Oh.
Actually, a batch this morning and a batch earlier. So, yeah. What is that cat screaming about? Is that Ollie?
Yeah, it's Ollie. So we usually don't hear him, but yeah, it's Ollie.
I never see him.
Here he is. See, look.
Yeah, look at that.
That's Ollie.
That's a handsome boy.
You being a podcat?
That's the podcat.
He's the podcat.
There's nobody in the background going, baby.
Oh, Tano says Etsy.
Nice.
I literally had them for one day and then sent them to you. There's no way they smell like Weedari, but maybe.
There could be something else in the.
Yeah, I had just I had tried sealing them and it just started bubbling.
Yeah, it could just be. It could be the resin.
Yeah, it could be the resin. It could be any number of things. So I figured I just scrubbed them down and I let them to dry. That just gives it a little extra time. I'd rather take the time now and not have to reheat them. But yeah. Super Spike says, "Kitty, add him to the petty crimes."
Yeah, there you go. He gets interested in this space whenever I'm sitting here. So if I'm working or if I'm doing my show or anything,
what's going on?
He wants to like, oh, what's that? I know what's on the screen there.
It's like he's a cat, man. Isn't that what they do?
When we got him, he was enamored with mirrors. He didn't understand them. He thought it was for a little while. He thought it was another cat.
Yep,
that's so cute.
Yeah, Nigel is definitely confused by mirrors.
I like Stormy's approach to mirrors. She looks at it, she goes up, boops it, and she just backs off and is like, "All right, you go." like,
guess that's a mirror. Is that how those work?
I thoroughly enjoy. We have a mirror, like the mirror in the bathroom. There's on like the back of the door is one of those lengthwise ones.
Yeah,
has been there forever, and it's just funny. She'll literally go around and be like, "Ah, oh," and you just hear like dunk, and then you just see Stormy walk out like, "Oh, got spooked by the mirror again, did you?"
Yeah, he's getting all over the place. That's a normal day over here at the abode.
Mm-hmm.
D Blake Mike says, my wife loves Dawn Power Wash, uses it. Whoa, I just lost that comment. Uses it from dishes to stainless steel appliances and taking stain out of clothing. Tried it on some resin prints after the alcohol rinse and then come out tremendously clean and dry. Nice.
Nice.
Oh, no, that's not going to work. Shit. I don't know how, but like, I use the same skin tone as like the base for this,
Mm-hmm.
and it always comes out like super dark on one side and super light on the other, and it's like, what? It's the same color. I'm not even mixing it. But how?
It is odd.
Yeah, what is that skin tone you're using?
I do a Kislev flesh that I mixed some brown into
Mm-hmm.
a while back, and so it's my base that gives a really nice base tone on top. So I do kind of like a dark orange red layer as the base, and then when I put this over it on a really light coating, it gives a really nice flesh.
Nice.
So just that thing. It's that weird game of like, okay, how do I balance this? How do I get this to not just absolutely pop? But what up, Forgivens? Hey guys, what's up? Just got in from UDF ice cream. Nice.
Ooh, ice cream.
Yeah. But yeah. So this is kind of my go-to. It's that weird thing too of like, it's a younger David Tennant head sculpt. So it's like, oh, this is when you were like very well coiffed on the show, and you weren't as shaggy and kind of not scrubby, but he had like the 5 o'clock shadow in later seasons. Like in the earlier season, it's like, god damn, like who spray painted on your eyebrows?
Yeah.
The doctor has to be perfect.
So always.
I've never watched any of those.
Really?
Not even the Tom Baker
Tenant?
ones.
No, I've never watched any Doctor Who.
Baker was where I started because that was like the BBC on PBS.
Yeah, they'd show him and they'd show Peter Davidson after him.
Yeah.
Peter.
But it was always weird because like you go back to those and legit the special effects in some of those episodes are cardboard cutouts. And then, you fast forward to the new Who, like the modern series, and it's like, oh shit. Like
they have a budget.
They have a budget, but they still retain that fair amount of cheapness to it too. Like some of the monsters look really kind of goofy. Yeah. Like you can't do the Sultans without making them look like giant potato heads.
Oh, the Centaurons, yeah. The dude who plays Strax, like the potato person that was like a steady character for a while. He was at a local show that I was at, and I wasn't paying attention. Like I was just doing, I was working on some commissions and stuff, and he came up with the full voice and everything. And he's like, "Are you the one making drawings of me?" And I'm like, "Oh shit!" And I turn around, and he's like this little dude, and I'm like, "Oh hey." He's like, "It's really lovely. Can I have one?" And I'm like, "Of course." So I drew him one and handed it to him. Got a cool photo.
That's cool.
He plays such a curmudgeonly like character that, like, when I heard the voice, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, I've done pissed him off.
You're like, oh.
in the back of my head, I'm like, right, still British. but just a genuinely lovely person, which was pretty cool. Because I can safely say I've encountered my fair share of assholes from famous shows, and it's like, oh, it's always nice when it's like, oh, you don't suck.
I don't know, because sometimes it could be a bad day. You know, who knows?
Oh no, totally. I mean, I get that.
Lou Ferrigno's one of those. He's always angry.
Yeah.
Everybody has stories about Lou Ferrigno who's done shows.
Oh, him being a dick?
Yeah, he's kind of a dick in person.
Oh, yeah.
I have had both good and bad experiences with Lou.
Damn.
A long time ago, a friend of mine had been like, "Hey, you know, do you want to grab some food with me and my buddy Lou?" And I went, "Yeah." I didn't know it was Lou. Like, and he my buddy is the one who trained him and for his like deputization stuff. Because he was law enforcement, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, okay,
Huh.
so it's kind of wild.
But nice man, you're gonna get chased after by the Hulk? Is it gonna be all slow motion, like?
Ankle can be really low.
I don't step on him. I know, Spike. I know. Sunta.
He doesn't punch anybody. He just grabs you and throws you.
Yeah, right.
Bear style.
Yeah, you get thrown into the sun.
Like I said, like legitimately, like I my first Comic-Con, like my first San Diego that I ever went to, I walked in and I was like, wow, and I took a picture, like on my friggin' like you know, handy cam or whatever the hell it was, because you know they weren't on phones at that point, and like someone from his security or something like that came over. He's like, any unauthorized photos of Mr. Ferrigno or you know this much. And I'm like, what? Where? Who? Because like I didn't even see his booth. Like I literally walked in and just went, holy shit, and snapped a picture. Like I was not actively pursuing a photo of Lou Ferrigno.
That's what somebody who was trying to get a free picture would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just the picture of him. It's interesting that he was sensitive of just a picture of himself. Usually, you're gonna get a picture with somebody. You're gonna do it with Lou, right? You're gonna like,
yeah,
you know.
I mean, somebody saw their you know their money was walking away, and they wanted to.
Well, the funny thing is if I would have been like aha, and like aimed over by him, but I literally just went like this. Cool, click.
No, he's really sensitive when even if there's a camera in his location, he's just like, and he just like.
I mean, that's how he makes his living. So
yeah. I mean, you know, no free pictures of Lou, but you know, as I remember, he used to have this really lousy Polaroid system there. Like he used to sit in front of his table, right? And that's how you would get a photo of him, or you get a photo with him. You get these shitty Polaroids.
I mean, that was with everybody. I feel like though.
He did it even long after it was already sort of like passe. Like now they do the thing where you schedule time with them, and you know they have a little cheesy backdrop for you to stand in front of, and you'll take your little pictures with them. But yeah,
see, you can't control digital pictures.
No, he can. He'll just grab your phone like
wants to be a Polaroid because you know
that green man saved my life.
His you know what would be really cool, like if he had like security that looked like Bill Bixby. So it's just Bill Bixby, like a Bill Bixby looking guy comes up to you, or you know, just
it's like.
So there's oh man, that looks really red.
Yeah,
don't like that.
I always wanted to be ginger.
Yeah, no shit, Jesus. Oh, fuck. Well, how? I don't. 100% Earl says, I remember seeing three guys dressed up as Misty from Pokemon in line to see Lou Ferrigno at WizardCon in 2014. Bet that one.
What the fuck?
Lou was using 8-track tapes well into the era of CDs. Well, you never know.
He could have been. He could have had a banging. He could have had a banging sound system in his car with an 8-track system.
Hmm.
It was superior to tape.
Wait, isn't he deaf?
He has a cochlear implant.
Yeah.
Oh.
So kind of.
Kind
But he is at least partially.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever it's like, oh, he's got an 8-track. I'm like, for what?
They've used the Red Hulk's part. Yeah. I'm gonna just knock this back a little bit.
Yeah, if you've ever watched Pumping Iron. Which,
the things that Arnold says in that, very interesting.
yeah, he says a lot of very interesting things. It's kind of wild that after that he still got elected to public office.
It's like, it's no worse than what any other politician has done. Come on.
Spike says my best free picture I got at a con was George Breath. George was fucking legendary.
He is the type of the well, you know, they say don't ever meet your heroes, but he is everything that you imagine him to be. A very classy guy. I met him when I was interning at Marvel Comics, and he was very nice. You know, he asked me my name. He's, oh, Emilio, how you doing? The little, you know, like I was. It's like, why are you giving me this attention? I should be giving you this attention. But no, he was very personable like that.
I'll always remember the day I had a Hawaiian shirt on. I think it was Wizard World Chicago. And he came by the booth because I was tabling. I don't remember who I was tabling next to. I was tabling next to someone he was coming to see. I think maybe Scott Hanna or someone. And he was just like, that, sir, fine shirt. I'm like, oh, thanks. Like, Kohl's, $12. Like,
he's like, I need one of those, and I'm getting it tomorrow.
I didn't know until well towards the end. Like his partner made pretty much all of his Hawaiian shirts.
Really?
What?
Yeah,
that's badass.
Yeah,
nice. You know who else is like? You said he was sitting next to Scott Hanna. Scott Hanna is also a very nice, nice to meet too.
Yeah, Scott was the inker for Tom for years and years and years. Mm-hmm. So he knew me as one of Tom's kids. Every time I'd see him, oh, hey, Dave, how's it going? Oh, it's going good, man. How you been, Scott? You know, he's like, how's Tom? He's good. I mean, not so much anymore. But,
no.
It's one of those weird things of like, it's like, just fucking call him. Like,
yeah, but you know how it is. It's like,
oh, I know.
It's like you see the person, you know, like you'll see somebody that then that reminds you that you need to call them, but sometimes you just sort of don't.
Well, the funny thing was, it was like, I want to say it was a couple years back. I walked up and I was like, hey man, how's it going? He's like, hi, what are you here for? I was like, oh, awesome. Like, well, I suppose I've changed my look a little bit, but shit.
Who is this large man standing at my table?
Get away from me, sassy! 100% Earl says it was first con experience and I was in line to meet JDF. I'm going to a con to see real celebrities like Dave and Emilio. Yeah. I remember Emilio and I crashed together at C2E2. I went over to meet the Turtle Boys. And I saw the print, and I'm like, you know, the guy that drew that is here. He's like, what? And like, he freaked out.
Yeah, it was Cam Clark. Yeah, yeah, because I made a small deal like years and years and years ago. I had met Cam Clark at Retrocon, which is this weekend. Retrocon is this weekend in Pennsylvania. If you're there, I'm going to be there helping out. Anyway, I saw him there, and I was like, hey, you know, I have this piece of Metal Gear art. Obviously, I can't really sell a lot of these out, but I'm like, would you be interested in, using as one of your cool, like one of your prints to sell? You sign it, and it's a cool piece of artwork for people. And he's like, oh yeah, all right, I'll get back to you on that. I gave him a print, and he's like, okay, it was cool. Maybe 2020, I think, or 22. He just contacts me out of nowhere. He's like, hey, Emilio, so I wanted to use your print. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I already set it up for him and then everything. So it has like a little tiny watermark of it on the bottom, and yeah, so it was pretty fun.
Nice.
So not little. I'm not sure how much people look at the little watermark on there, but at least it's out there, and people have a cool piece of artwork to go on their wall.
That's cool.
It's always a slippery slope when you're doing at cons, you can have cool, like, prints of Spider-Man and all kinds of other stuff like that, but if you have them on print sites, they're always getting flagged and stuff like that. So I have quite a bit of Metal Gear Solid type, like, themed artwork, and a lot of times, a lot of that stuff gets pulled off of the print sites that I have on, just because of what it is, right? So if it gets pulled off, it won't get pulled off of if it gets pulled off a campsite, it's an original piece of artwork. It's not like real, it's not factory, comic stuff. But Cam has quite a bit of other, like, prints that are sort of fan prints. The other person I have that's also selling my one of my prints is a guy named Paul Eiding. He's the voice of Colonel Campbell from Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
So I have one of those with him.
That's cool.
Hell yeah. D Blake Mix says, come by my booth at Retrocon, says D Blake Mix. Do it.
Nice.
So, Super Spike.
I gotta drop by. I gotta drive by your booth, dude. Yeah.
Hell yeah. These good people. My draw for the con is always Mike Norton. Oh, Mike. I did a show with Mike and Hester Phil Hester in the middle of Iowa, and it was called, I think, Microcon or something like that. It was the first year and last year of the show.
Well, unique, easy to remember, not at all used everywhere name like that.
Oh, definitely.
You're gonna
I'm for the show, dude. Do you want to hop on, man? I'll send you the link. Legitimately, so Norton, double ballroom. Norton is over here on this side. Hester's over here. I'm by the exit, like where you leave. All the lights on the perimeter of the room were out except by the exit. So I'm under like a spotlight, and they are sitting in the fucking dark.
Oh, no.
Just like, I'm so sorry, you guys.
You should have. It's too bad you didn't have like a little radio just that plays that.
Every single time, like Norton or Hester came by, it's like, how's it going, Dave? I'm like, oh, it's going pretty good, you guys. How's it going over in the Darklands? Like, I always felt a little bit like a dick, but at the same time, I was like, this is wonderful. Woo. What are you working on right now, Matt? Sorry, I looked up and I saw.
Oh, I got a bunch of crap right now. I'm just
noise
poking around here.
Neither was working on Spoilerman. Oh, that looks kind of like the.
It's got the big eyes. It's kind of yeah. Yeah. I've got a bunch of Spidey heads, and they're all different. All the ones I have left to paint, they're all like different looks. So what I did was I painted the whites of the eyes, and then I did a little blue wash around the edges so I could see where the black needs to stop. And so I'm painting the blacks on the eyes right now.
Cory.
What?
Before you list those, can you send me a picture?
Yeah, of course. Of course I will. Did you get Morph? I know the answer.
No, someone sent me a cast.
Boo!
It's one of them.
Boo!
I talked to you about this.
Boo!
Hey, I told you.
Who sent him that?
The funny and sad thing is, I don't know because there's no name on the box.
Didn't even put their cowards. Didn't even put their name on the box.
Because I was legitimately, I was talking. Well, weren't you on when I was painting it?
I don't remember.
I just remember being like, I don't know how you did it, so I'm gonna wing it.
I've had a head cold since then.
I know. Because you were like, I'm gonna come on that marathon stream, and then you're like,
Yeah,
I can't talk.
I don't have a voice. Yeah, I had no voice on Friday.
Oh man, Kip Ash like a champ. That's the extent of my skills. Emperor Antonio says everything the light touches is his kingdom.
Ooh.
I Kip Ash like a champ. That's the extent of my skills. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Night, Earl. But yeah, do you like? You let me know. I'll toss you the link.
Yeah, man, come on.
Yeah, he wants you in here. Come on.
We could talk about Retrocon and how Lee Majors and Lindsay Wagner are going to be there.
Yeah.
The Bionic Man and the Bionic Woman.
Now, literally.
Probably, yeah.
They're living the gimmick.
Lee Majors has got a bunch of has some Fall Guy stuff there. Yeah, if you all remember that show from the 80s. Well, and then there's the movie, of course.
So I'm doing the okay, will do. So I'm doing my underpainting of the eyes because he has like really pronounced reds, like his tear ducts and stuff. But I'm like, oh, I feel like this.
I'm the evil doctor.
Just makes it a lot easier where it's like, oh shit, Epic Badger, I'll be selling at Retropalooza in October. Got to make money to buy more Micro Machines.
Nice.
Micro Machines.
You putting a little red under the eyes? Yes, sir. Just like Dan Howland. Oh, no shit. Professor X is getting a reissue along with some.
I saw that.
So that's cool.
I mean, I see Professor X did show up on Big Bad.
Yeah.
But that's the older one.
Well,
it's a reissue.
Yeah.
Is that going to be like the Beast reissue that went up not long ago that still hasn't? I feel like I've had it on pre-order for a while. The lab coat Beast.
See, and I remember that was even going up.
I can't remember what the
Yeah.
the ship date was expected to be on it, but it's a ways out.
Keeps getting pushed.
There's a couple of Mysterio things that just sort of like just been sitting in limbo on there.
Because they also did some reissues. Pre-orders went up for some Star Wars.
Oh yeah, the Commander Kenobi and yep.
Malek and stuff, and those aren't slated until like next spring. So
we're in a bad way. They're wheeling out whatever they have.
It's probably
going
to be
a
made-to-order sort of deal.
Maybe. They just re-released a bunch of old Star Wars stuff. The Afra's droids and a few other rarities.
Those were part of an actual whatever the wave was. They had the reissue line.
Yeah.
These are just straight up like in the original packaging and everything.
Duh. No changes.
Don't change at all.
What we're seeing.
Yeah. Yep. That's what you get.
Yeah, it's fine by me. I missed Malek, so.
I didn't realize you were doing Black Series.
I'm in and out.
Yeah.
He dabbles.
Dabbles in the dark side.
I buy more than I should.
I stopped. I haven't bought a Black Series in a very long time.
You're smart.
No, I just haven't had the passion for it. It's a weird feeling. I love Star Wars, but every time I pick up a Black Series figure, it does nothing for me.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. Maybe it's just the state of it. You know, like all of the things that I love have changed over time, and you know, sometimes you got to put it up. You got to go on, do something that makes you happy.
yeah, absolutely. I would call that wise.
Yeah. Yep.
There's a lot of people who just keep getting stuff, you know, because of inertia.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't want to be the kind of person. This is my beef. I kept buying Black Series figures and feeling like they weren't really improving. The face prints were okay, but then sometimes you get them, they'd be really glossy. They started removing certain articulation. There was just a lot. Like paint apps were minimal, and then they would say, "Well, this figure's a deluxe, so
Yeah,
it has deluxe paint apps," and they don't paint the back of the figure.
Right.
Like, what the fuck is going on here? A lot of that kind of stuff. And you definitely get to a point where you're like, I guess I'm going to go over to another line where I'm happy, or I'll just spend more money on something that makes me happy, you know?
Yeah.
And there are plenty of, like, oddities that I'll pick up and I look at them. Man, this thing's bad. Like that werewolf, that veteran William figure.
Sure.
That thing's fucking awesome. That thing is badass. And he stays in the house, which is if a toy stays out here in the shop, that's good. But if it makes it into my house, that's a good toy. That's like the sign that it's legit. I'm like, okay, this is hand candy. This thing's fucking awesome.
You get to meet my family.
Yeah.
Welcome home, veteran Williams.
Yeah.
For today, you are a real boy. That's why I don't pay full price for Black Series. Fair enough. There's no Black Series and candy. There's just filling our shelves.
Yeah. Blind consumerism, right? Like, sort of, I have to buy this character. Like, I feel like if you bought any Lando at full price, you shot yourself in the foot. Ollie's would like to have a talk. Good stuff for cheap, including all of these Landos. Oh, man.
Star Wars to G.I. Joe Classified or Jada Street Fighter and just isn't exciting. Yeah, I mean, Classified has been doing some crazy fun shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that is a good. Well, okay. Star Wars can easily be compared to Joe's because it has the potential for all these like accessorized things, you know, vehicles and tech and everything. And they don't really make an effort to do any of that for Star Wars. It's just the character, and there's no world building that comes with it. But if you think about it in the Power of the Force days, there were tons of like little play sets and all kinds of things that would go with the figures to really step it up.
I got this guy for super cheap, and I think I'm going to make him into
awesome.
my version of Cardiac.
Oh,
because it kind of already has the like the suit template, but I like the modern aesthetic to it. I don't know.
That's a good idea.
I was like, didn't have any of the accessories, but I was like,
it's all right. Yeah. It's a really good figure.
I agree. I think it's dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
It was just that thing of like, I don't do a lot of classified.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, you know, let me see if I can apply this to a line that I do care about.
I'll tell you one thing about the classified figures. They're super easy to like pull apart and mix and match. Like everything.
Oh yeah.
Every part of them can come apart, and you can just like, hey, look, put some different pants on this guy. He's got a different shirt, and then you kind of make your own almost.
They are very customizer friendly.
I think the only thing that isn't is the ball joint in the neck. For different figures, it's different sized. Some of them they've been using smaller ball joints, and then some of them have the older, bigger ball joints. So it's like all over the place.
Yo.
I made my own bat, a Cobra bat.
No,
Nice.
Oh, Brian Merchant says Star Wars is tough because there are only a few characters that are toyetic. Yeah. Emperor Antonio says Saurozoic Warriors from Boss Fight is such a fun line. Biped dinosaurs in bright 90s colors. I agree with you. Joy de Jour says Black Series could really use the help. Could really help but itself out by focusing on aliens and droids. Agreed. Oh, what up, Mitch? Tano says yes, classified.
Hey.
I agree. Welcome, Mitch.
I think they should bring back. I mean, we all remember how like Legends used to have Dio pieces they would come with.
Yeah.
Bring that to Star Wars. I would love to have little like accessory type things that come with the figures.
Then people are just going to bitch about price point.
I'd like to have all those accessories, like things like that. I mean, hell, the Obi-Wan having the little table with the hologram Leia and all that. That shit is awesome. I love all that stuff.
Oh, I love that stuff too, but I just
Yeah.
that
Yeah. I mean, people bitch about the prices regardless. I mean, look at the price of Vintage Collection right now. They've gone up to like $16. And that's a 4-inch. That's a 4-inch figure.
Mhm.
I don't know if they're trying to like price people out of that line or what.
I think it sells less, so they're probably trying to keep it.
Right.
You know, they're squeezing more money
Jesus.
out of the
Vintage Collection sells less than Black Series. Wow, that's very little. I was gonna say that's a lot, but
It does,
yeah.
but I don't think it sells. You know,
Could you imagine something selling less than Black Series? Even Ollie's is like, we can't carry that.
To be honest, I don't think I don't really think I've seen Vintage Collections in stores outside of just the online
Oh,
stuff.
there's Damion.
What
up, dude?
What's
Hello.
up?
Toast.
What's up?
Toast. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Toast.
You
Awesome. How you guys
Can
doing?
you hear us?
doing
I got
good. You prepping for the
Same old, same
Retrocon,
old.
son?
Yeah, man. Retrocon right around the corner.
Yep. Do
And
you
then-
do you usually go to see what is it? They usually do the show there the Autobots
Oh yeah. The cyber whatever.
Cybertronic spree. Yeah.
No, I can't ever leave my booth more than like 15 minutes, man.
I mean, that's usually after. They usually do it after after everything.
Is it after?
Yeah.
I thought it was during the show.
No, in the evening after the show closes. Yeah, they do the Cybertronic spree show.
So what is that? What is the
Yeah.
Cybertronic spree?
Oh,
Cybertronic spree is literally a band that covers all of the soundtrack to Transformers the movie, dressed up as Autobots and Decepticons.
yeah.
That's
Like
hilarious.
But
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like War but Autobots.
they really
Wow.
are. Like, full on straight, like good cosplay, like big
They're amazing.
Autobots.
Could you imagine
Yeah,
getting hit
Yeah.
by robot parts in the audience? Ow!
I think the lead
nuts
singer,
and bolts hitting you in the face.
Yeah.
the lead singers are like Hot Rod and RC, and then I think the bassist is
It's the
maybe
girl.
Better be Jazz.
It's not
Most
Jazz.
Soundwave is one of them.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
it's
missed
not-
opportunity.
Soundwave is there, and then I think at one
One
point
of
the
them's
drummer.
Unicron.
One is the bassist is Unicron, and then I think at one point the drummer used to be a Quintesson, but I think he's
I
different.
never want to be so self-conscious about my weight to have to be Unicron.
Well, it depends on whether you're animation Unicron or toy Unicron. The
Yeah.
original prototype, yeah, you gotta be packing a belly.
Gotta be girthy.
Toy Unicron's almost life size.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I think I
Dave,
definitely
what was that you were holding up?
What?
me.
What head were you holding up there, Dave?
Oh, it is a David Tennant that I'm painting up. I still gotta do some washes. And his hair is coming off like super red, but in person it's like dark brown. It's pissing me off.
Cameras, yeah.
Take your word for it.
Well, I think I'm gonna dip early tonight. If you don't mind, Dave.
Oh, sure. I come on.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Person that I've never met and have no opinion on.
Make you, Damion.
How dare you, Matt?
You're good.
Yeah, the day is catching up with me, and I'm actually going back to work tomorrow. So, but yes, before I go,
oh no,
play me out, David.
All right, hold on, hold on.
Do you feel like a champion? Do you worry that you don't look like a champion? Try Enhancement Talent Clothing and Gear. At our state-of-the-art facility, you'll find Warlord. Not one, not two, but a spectacular 3 cats. This thing. Top-of-the-line sewing equipment that Enhancement Talent has used to make Enhancement Talent Clothing and Gear. Let us take you to the top of the card.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, real quick before you leave, where can people find you? What you got coming up?
I'll be off this next week. Maybe over on Nobles United for prep school on Sunday. I don't know. I'm on Instagram. I haven't updated that in forever. I'm on Kara. I haven't updated that forever. I'm on Blue Sky because you shouldn't be.
Have you updated that one?
Blue Sky, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We see who rates.
And I've got a bunch of stuff I need to take pictures of. So hopefully soon.
Hell yeah.
That's me.
Matt. See you soon.
All right. Have a good night,
everybody.
Later, Matt.
Later.
That was a good Robo impression. The hell yeah, that was pretty good.
It works out. Oh man. Okay, there we go. Sorry, throwing a dark wash on his hair, and I'm like, oh, that's helping. Used to using like really heavy acrylics, and ever since I've been switched over to using like more Citadel and Vallejo and shit, it's like, all right, this is what you gotta do.
There's a system in place.
Yeah. One of these days, Dave is going to do that, and Matt is just going to swap with this thing. God, I would laugh so hard.
Yeah, if this thing was sitting in a seat.
Just hello. Ah.
It probably has like a high voice like Skeletor. Like Alan Oppenheimer. Yeah, I am this thing. I've replaced Matt.
Kneel before Zod. That's also the game of like trying to get this, like the eyes to where I want them to. It's like,
Do you find eyes are like the hardest thing to paint?
Kind of. More so, it's the layering process.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've talked to Cory about this a number of times. It's just like I get frustrated because sometimes the paint will act differently with different layers. So it's like, fuck. Like now I have to touch up the white, and you know.
Mm-hmm.
You need a to restructure your paint set, because what's happened is every time you switch and use like a different set of colors, you're having to readapt to certain things. So sometimes having certain colors that become dependable, where you're like, I know how this is going to handle every time.
Oh, definitely.
It's like, okay, that's there. I know, like, and even when you become used to certain types of paints, like I know how these Monument Hobbies are going to handle when I use them, and they're high pigment, so I can thin them down, versus something like cheaper paints where when you thin them down they become more transparent. Sometimes I want that, but a lot of times what I'll do is I'll still use the good paint, but I'll use a filler, because that's really all like cheap paints. Like whenever you see folk art and stuff like that, it's just less pigment and more filler. So like if you have a bottle of varnish or something, that's the acrylic, right? So any bottle like this, the acrylic medium is most of what's in that bottle of folk art and very little pigment. That's why whenever you go to brush on, you're like, oh, it needs another coat, it needs another coat. Sometimes you want that. Like sometimes you want to just take a little bit
build it up
of a layer and do like very thin passes. Especially if you're doing something like if you're wet blending, or let's say you have a wash that you want to be able to blend out to another area. It's really helpful just to thin down the amount of pigment in your paint itself.
Well, he has dark brown eyes, so it's a game of like, does this really?
Oh man!
From like...
So all right, so brown eyes. How do you do something with brown eyes to make them still stand out?
So what I usually do is I will lay down the white of the eye. I then put down a layer of brown, and then I put the black in the center that's wet so that it blends it. And then I'll do one little loop of brown and a dot of black, and that usually pops it out. It's just his eyes are legitimately dark brown.
What about using a metallic color?
If I had them, I only have a couple of them, and I unfortunately don't think it would work well on this.
I really like
the doll
using
eye.
metallics in eyes a lot.
I thought about doing the doll eye technique of just putting that little white dot.
Oh, doing the little dots on light inflections.
Yeah.
Just shiny.
Yeah.
Yo.
It's got doll's eyes.
Doll's eyes.
What's that thing of it's the illustrator in me?
Yeah.
It's just like, you're
trying to apply 2D techniques into a 3D object.
Yep. And it works a lot of times. If it's done well, it works.
Because like that's just adding that little adding that little bit in. Okay, there we go. Like I'll probably put a wash over it again, but just adds that little bit. But oh shit, that was awesome. Sorry, the thing just popped up. I was like, oh shit.
So I print this in a translucent like crystal filament, and then I fill it with an icy blue, so you get like that blue Arctic look. But the cool thing about this is you can backlight it, and you'll get that effect of like the lines coming from the back of it, and just the thing would be silhouetted now, and you get this whole glow effect of it. It's amazing.
You don't even have to melt trash bags.
Nope.
I always thought that was the cool. Like, have you ever watched that behind the scenes thing where they're talking about that? And it's just oh hell yeah,
how they're doing the arms like getting chopped off in the body and everything. It's great. And the dog.
I'm gonna leave it there. I did. I washed over the brown just so that it has a little bit of that glint. I don't know. I like it. Subtle, layered. It works.
Do you put an eyelid shadow over the tops of the whites a little bit?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's I do a red. So it's just really hard to see, but I do a red base for the eye, so it does the tear duct and like the under eye and on top. And then when I fill it, it almost does it like automatically. Like it's like it acts like a filler. Which is cool. Kind of fun. Now, what do I want to do?
Is this a custom you're working on or commission?
That one's a custom for just for me. My buddy Graham, I painted up a Colin Baker for him, and as payment, he was like, "Oh, I'll get you a David Tennant head." I'm like, "Okay," because I wasn't going to spend the money on it, but makes it a little easier when he's like, "Here." It gives me something to paint on the show where I'm like, oh, okay, this is fun.
Ooh, like, content, yay.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna paint up I think this is Mordo, but I'm gonna paint it up so I have a Robbie Robertson head that's more comic style. I was gonna do that, and then I was gonna work on Blue Boy here. So that'll be everything on the docket tonight. I was gonna work on
Tila.
this Nacho Libre custom for Tony, but I tried mixing the blue, like the teal for it, and it wasn't coming out right.
Oh, cool. So. Did Flashpoint do the?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He
ripped my blouse.
I'm very excited. Like I was gonna do it for myself, but I'm like I could not find a leather face body that was like reasonable, and I was like, damn it. And then Tony's like, I want that. I was like, okay, like problem solved. So
Ramses is not dancing at the party.
So how's the head move on? Oh, you managed to get the head off on the.
I had to heat it up. Yeah, I had to boil and pop this sucker.
Yeah, mine. I left it alone.
I don't. With how limited that range is, I don't know. I mean, it reminds me of one of those Schleich toys that you can buy at Target.
Oh yeah. Toys R Us.
Yeah.
They have those bins.
Oh, they did.
Well, they do at the American Dream in Jersey.
Oh, you guys have a Toys R Us still?
It's a shell.
It's like a mall.
It's a shell of itself. Yeah.
Oh God, it's so sad.
There's one at Mall of America too, and it's basically just calendars.
This head articulation's basically useless.
And it's like really old legends. It's like
like it used to be.
Oh God!
They're all double the price of what they're supposed to be.
Oh right? Yeah, they're way overpriced. Overpriced. It's not a good time. I went in there. I said I don't need to go in this store ever again.
Yay! And then the mermaids come back. Oh, ooh.
Oh yeah. And not like in the Kool-Aid Man way.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh my God, is that the Star Wars Black TIE fighter from the was it the Force Awakens? Oh my God,
it's happening.
Yeah, like they had like the Age of Apocalypse wave, like with the Colossus Build-A-Figure.
Where did they get like Toys R Us was gone by the time those things were out?
Yeah. I have no idea. That I remember because I was like, I had this wave. I couldn't even sell it for retail.
They went to Ollie's and picked up some stuff.
They're like, hey, we got these. They got these great figures.
Legitimately, I think it's Go Calendar. I think it's like all Go Calendar merchandise because they have the same price tags and the same price point as those, at least in the Mall of America one. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're all like $30 too, and you're like, are you effing kidding me right now? Like. $30 for
why are you charging a
4-year-old figure? Yeah.
It's dumb.
But I actually haven't been to that one, but I like a couple of people I do know who have gone there and they're like, yep, it's Toys R Us, exactly how you remember it. Just small.
It really isn't though. I mean, the selection is so much less. It's very much more geared towards younger children. There's only like one wall where it's actually got some legends, but you're not going to find any like the Storm collectibles, the McFarlanes. None of that stuff is there.
You used to have a good Toys R Us.
Oh, my Toys R Us used to be fantastic. I remember seeing Storm Bison. And all the McFarlanes were there. Yeah, man. I used to
must have been, I don't remember Storm being at a Toys R Us, but then again, the one.
And I always slept on it because I was like, oh, I don't really need that. And then here we are, 10 years later or 5 years later, whatever.
The Toys R Us that was over here closest to me was all they had was just a bunch of what's her face with the robot arm and the wall eyes. Not Jessica Jones.
You're talking about Misty Knight.
Misty Knight. Yeah, literally a whole section of Misty Knights, and not one of them you could ever find that had eyes that were like perfect. They're all like to the side.
A buddy of mine that lived a little closer to Toys R Us used to do this thing where he would go to it and he would look for whatever toy they always had too many of, and he would face all the same figure. there was at one point there were at least 24 Banshees at this Toys R Us, and that was back in the days of the horrific Emma Frost figure, the Burger King Hercules, like all of those were there, but they had so many of just Banshee, and he put them all up on the face, and it was hilarious. Like it was like nobody else would take time out of their day to do that, but he got such a kick out of it that he would do it at other stores as well. I remember at one point he found a Target that had the only Star Wars figure they had was the lady that dances in Jabba's palace. This was in the old 3 3/4 day. I think her name was like Yarna or something.
Yeah.
And it was all they had was her, and he faced all of them. It was just hilarious. It's like, what are stores doing sitting on this much of the same figure?
They're like, man, this figure is going to be the greatest thing ever.
Well,
buy 10,000 of them.
I know, like over here, like because I befriended one of the buyers, and he's like, there were times that like corporate would just be like, hey, like we're running these, for sales, we're running these and these and this, and the thing is, they'd order like a bajillion cases of one wave. And it's like there's always 1 or 2 figures in a wave that just sit, that are the shelf ones. And yeah, like over here, I remember the big one was that the Jabba, the Power of the Force Jabba from the special editions.
Oh man,
like that just fucking rotted.
Probably if it had the rubber body.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a lump of plastic.
Sure is.
You just wail somebody in the head with it.
I just remember my friend getting that for his birthday, and he was like, "Fuck yeah, Jabba, awesome!" And he picked it up, and like everybody was like, "Oh, cool!" Like like we were thinking he was gonna do something with it, like like move him around or something, and he was like, "Yeah!" And he just went whoop, and flung it behind him, and we're like, "What the fuck?" We found out that he had gotten like 3 of the same exact thing from like all
that's great.
family members.
Oh no!
When I was little, I loved Ninja Turtles, and one year for my birthday, I have so my father is one of 8, so I have 4 aunts, 4 uncles. One year, for some reason, I ended up with 4 of Baxter Stockman on my birthday. No, he's one of 4.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
Baxter
yeah.
Stockman?
So, yeah, I had 4 Baxter. To this day, Baxter Stockman, I hate him. I was just like,
you've been traumatized.
It's like, what do you want? Ninja Turtles? Well, here's a bug, dude. Fuck this thing.
It's like, obviously, what's happened is it's like, man, this thing's on. Like, I got to get Cory a gift. What should I get him?
There's no turtles here. Well, there's this fly guy.
Yeah.
There's this fly
says
guy.
Ninja Turtles on it. Give him that. He doesn't know the difference.
Ninja Turtles on
it says Ninja. Good enough.
For me, it was the if you remember, He-Man used to have these bikes that used to pull the little string on, and it would essentially cause them to whiz across the ground. I guess they might have
of
called
course. The rip cords. Yeah, those little zipper rip cords.
So in around like 1985, I literally got had a pretty big birthday party my mom put together, and literally almost everybody gave me that same thing. So I had like 10 of them.
That's hilarious.
That was handy because you always would lose that ripcord,
you lose the thing.
So, do you remember G.I. Joe's had these little it was like a helicopter, and it had they had the pull zip cord, right?
I had a few of those, yeah.
So, growing up, my mother smoked cigarettes, and we went to the grocery store or wherever, and she bought me and my brother each one of those things, right? So my brother opens his, and he zips it, right? And of course, my mother has the window down while we're driving down the road, and G.I. Joe goes right out the driver's side window, just bye-bye, gone forever.
Oh
and
my God.
To this day, it's still one of the funniest. Hey, remember that G.I. Joe you got?
That's
I wonder where you landed.
good core memory.
I ended up breaking all of because I loved those little like things that had little gimmicks like that. So I had that. I had those, but all the little fans broke on all of those.
Oh,
the
there we
little
go.
copters on there.
Now Robbie can join J. Jonah Jameson in the bullpen.
Nice.
My favorite was the turtle pizza shooter.
Yes.
I never had that one until like I was an adult, but I had many friends who annoyed the piss out of their pets and siblings.
Oh, I got so good at banking those pizzas off of the wall and the door. I was a bank shot king on that thing. And the noise, I can still hear that winding noise.
Never had any of the vehicles for Turtles. I only had the figures. Yeah, the only sets that I ended up with a lot of the main stuff was Thundercats. I had the Cat Slayer and I had the Thunder Tank.
I definitely had the Thunder Tank and Cat Slayer. The thing with the hands that would stomp up and down. I forgot. Was that a Thundercats one? It had blue hands and it had spikes on the hands, and when it would walk, the hands would stomp up and down. I think it was a Thundercats one.
Then might have been. It also sounds like that Wolverine bike.
I'm thinking it could have either been He-Man. It could have been He-Man or it could have been Thundercats, but I think it was Thundercats. It's a Plundar.
Could you imagine looking at that Wolverine bike and be, gee, I wonder who this belongs to? And his face just flips around on the front of it. It's mine, bub.
It's mine.
What the fuck? Is that Wolverine's head? Is he inside the bike?
Are you okay?
Logan, are you the bike
What
now?
I do. What I do is vroom, vroom, vroom.
Beast is like, I have this great idea. I think I'll make a bike with your head in it, Logan. Why ever would you do that, Bob?
Hold on.
He has the bike, doesn't he? He has it in the bathtub. He had to go get it.
It's in the bathtub.
You're goddamn right.
Yeah. And he's got the face flipped. Fuck that weird face on there, though.
There
He
it
even
is.
looks like he's squished in it. Like, help me.
Why is there?
What have you done?
What designer made that? That had to pass. Do you know that had to pass like a board of people?
That's the worst part about it. Is it's like someone consciously was like, "Yep, it's gonna move millions."
It's that line. It's that line from the cartoon. I go where I want to go. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, of course you do. You weird motorcycle.
Remember in Big when they're talking about, and he's like, it's just a building. And they're like, yeah, but it's a building, it transforms. He goes, yeah, but when it's a building, it's boring.
Yeah.
Like, I always want to be on that panel, you know? Like, I want to be the one that's like, yeah, but it's a face. And then we're like, I don't get it. And then the guy's like, but it's Wolverine's face. And then you're like, just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it, right? He gets all pissed off.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Get that Wolverine.
Oh, boy. This is going to be a very blue Venom.
You can see Robert Loggia dancing with Tom Hanks.
In what?
Oh, because he said, remember in Big? So I'm like, I can only think of it was Robert Loggia and Tom Hanks dancing on the piano
on the piano
at FAO Schwartz. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? What's that John Landis movie with Robert Loggia where he's a vampire?
Oh, Innocent Blood.
That movie is amazing.
Yeah, Robert Loggia just chewing all the scenery.
He is so good in that movie. I mean, I was crying laughing at because you can tell he's having a lot of fun.
Is it a comedy?
It's a John Landis film, so it's like,
in the same vein as American Werewolf.
American Werewolf,
yeah.
All right.
It's really good.
He's really good at it.
Oh man, making progress.
Mm-hmm. Are any of you guys doing Legions Con?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to be there
every year.
Not me.
Every so often
Maybe
I
next year.
every so often I head up there, because definitely there's a lot of customizers in there, you know, besides just the Legions guys. You know,
dude, it's become so much more than Legions. It's not just Legions. It's almost like an East Coast decon. Yeah, it really is at this point. I mean, you've got guys, Meta Travelers are there, Animal Wars of the Kingdom are there. So many independents. What's that?
Yeah,
Plunderlings will be there. Ricky's going to be there.
Ricky from Plunderlings will be there. He's there. Ricky told me last year. I went out to dinner with him after the show on Saturday, and he's like, just Saturday, he made half as much as he did on all 4 days of New York Comic Con.
Wow!
People are there to buy. I mean, they're
that's
there.
What I told you.
It's also
focused. It's a focused group.
You know? Yeah, I've seen him at New York Comic Con, like a few times. But like the way they have, because they had that one side where everybody's like, it's like the toy. They call it the block or whatever, that side. But like one time they just had him like sandwiched between like medieval times and something else. I'm like, what is this?
He's just in the middle. He's just stuck over there. He's not doing Comic Con this year.
Yeah. I didn't apply, but like ever since the pandemic, they haven't been letting me in.
Oh no.
Oh, well, you know what it is. They want to get butts and seats, especially when it comes to the artist alley.
You don't cover your mouth when you cough.
Oh no, I had my mask on. I coughed at the mask.
Oh.
Shaggy says he is 36 now. What? Who's 36?
I think that's what convinced Odious to come out there, Wade to come out to Legion's Con instead of Decon, because you don't have to pitch it. You're in a focused audience of people that know your stuff already, and they just want to buy.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I know because they moved from the other place, because it used to be the Toy Con used to be at that place. Yeah,
it used to be part of ToyCon NJ, which is next weekend.
Yeah,
but it just got too big, and they branched off and started their own convention, and now it is like the flagship show of the year. It's
that's cool.
Huge. It's so much fun, dude. It's like, seriously, if you can make it out to like an East Coast con, Legion's Con is the way to go. There's so many people come down for it, come from across the country. It's other countries.
Tony I don't know talking about it for next year.
I don't know I don't know where I mean, I probably have to look it up on a map, because I don't know where the new place is.
It's Whippany. It's the Marriott.
Oh wait, Whippany. I think I've been to a couple conventions in that place too.
It's really nice.
They have a decent sized dealer's room in that place.
There's a pub. There's a pub in the lobby.
Yes,
so everyone just hangs out in the lobby until 3:00 in the morning. They leave the pub open.
Kind of like C2E2.
And you just kind of mingle. You just kind of you go from one group of people to the next group of people, and everybody's just commingling. And one minute you're talking to one YouTuber guy, and next one you're talking to a bunch of customizers. It really is just.
I leave Thursday
to the best show.
I'll have to find a way out there next year. Wade asked if I was going. Josh asked if I was going, and everybody. I was like, I did not plan this out. I would have to, you gotta pay out ass if you're going in short notice. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'd have to set it up. Plus, I want to go and set up. Set up at a show. As opposed to. Although it wouldn't be bad to go and just walk around. That'd be kind of fun too.
It's fun to walk around. It's nice to set up, of course, because who hates money, right? But but it is, sometimes I wish I could just walk around and just be an attendee sometimes, and just kind of take it all in. It's a really fun show.
And you usually do the shows alone, right? I mean, at least before I.
I'm a one-man show. I'm a one-man show.
Ooh.
I know.
I usually just whenever I do shows, I always at least have a assistant or backup, at the just to sort of look at the table so you can go to the bathroom or something.
Yeah.
And you, as I remember, you usually set up toward the center, because I know the folks over there at Retrocon, they if you ask for the same spot, they'll usually put you there.
Yeah, last year Retrocon was the first year I got in. I had been trying for like 3 years to get into Retrocon since the pandemic.
Oh, really?
And
Wow.
yeah, and from what I understood, it was really hard to get into. So I got in last year for the first time, and when they opened it back up for this year, I was like, yes. Like everyone I talked to was like, don't leave. Once you leave, you're not getting back in.
It's kind of like Comic-Con with the tape.
Yeah. So that's it. So I'm in now, and they had me in like row 3, I think it was last year, which was fine. This year I was trying to get in next to like the Mythic Legions guys, but we didn't talk about it until like too late. It was like a couple weeks ago we were talking about it, and they said, "Oh, the floor plan's already made up." So
they usually set the Legions guys toward the wall so they can
all the way at the end. Yeah,
with the mysterious NECA booth.
Which is there's no more NECA booth. NECA's not doing shows anymore.
They're not.
Why?
The guy who did their I hate that
Randy.
I have all this stupid insider knowledge. Not Randy.
Blaine.
The guy who's not Blaine either. The guy who's doing like their shows. I forgot his name though. It's not Blaine or Randy.
Trevor?
I see Blaine at the shows. No, was it Rob or God, what the hell's the guy's name? I don't know. But he's not with the company anymore. So the guy that would like actually like take all the stuff and put it in a van and actually go to like Toy Con or the Wayne Toy Show or Retrocon, that guy is no longer there. So from what I understand, they're just going the Ollie's route now.
What?
Oh.
So all those extra figures that you would get at the NECA booth, all those $10 Bob Ross figures and $10 Marty McFlys and stuff are all going to be going to Ross, from my understanding.
Interesting.
Oh wow.
Womp womp.
I'm gonna miss the guy, the kind of spooky guys, the spooks that say, "Hey, you like NECA figures? You come into the back here. Hey, we got these."
Yeah, man. Last year at ToyCon, New Jersey, they had the turtle vans for $300, and we were everybody went over and was buying up all the turtle vans.
Yeah, they would always like, at least at the old ToyCon, what they used to do is they'd have like one of those life-size statues that would either be Kratos or Spider-Man, and then there's the side door, just the most like ghetto-y thing ever. And there's a bunch of those guys, "Hey, we got all these NECA figures over here."
And they would they'd sell all their stuff for dirt
and then
cheap,
they disappear.
Yep, they'd pack up and be gone by noon.
So like if you go
how shady that is.
Like a Retrocon, it'd be like, wasn't there a NECA booth over there in the car?
Yeah,
no, it's gone.
Where were they? Where'd they go? They're gone. Yeah, they just
day.
disappear. Yep. Yeah, they don't come back the next day. They're only there for Saturday, and they leave by like noon. Crazy.
Mission accomplished.
We done sold all our NECA figures. We out of here.
They really do, because like when it gets close to noon or something, they just literally start giving figures away. It's ridiculous. And then all of the toy sellers at the shows, they run over and they buy as much as they can, and then they put it up at their booth at like retail price.
Yep.
One guy, they were doing the Bob Ross figures, I think for $5 each, and they had like 20 of them, and one guy just went over and bought them all up. And I was like, I wanted to get one of those Bob Ross figures. He's like, oh, $25. I was like, are you effing kidding me, dude? They were $5. Just give me one, man. Like, I know you.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, there was one.
So you bought it?
One
no,
year.
I didn't.
I
already had a Bob Ross that I got at retail.
Nice.
Go ahead.
One year it was, I think what happened was like, again, first day, and then one guy just bought their whole table. Everything on their table, because he was going to be at another toy show or con soon. So he's literally just grabbed everything from their table.
Yeah, I mean, they're selling, and then boxes are a little shitty, but they have they're good sales. I mean, $10 for like a Doc Brown figure or whatever they had extras of,
Yeah. Well, it's a good way to move them.
It really is. I mean, it's all peg warmers usually, but still, if the price is right, if you just want fodder.
Yeah, or like if like he missed out on Dr. Zayas,
Yeah.
Let's get a Dr. Zayas.
Dr. Zayas.
Yes, Dr. Zayas.
Oh, Dr. Zayas.
Yeah, a lot of
say that.
Also what was it? I think a couple of people tend to set up around the NECA area. Oh, not the NECA, the Legions area over there.
Yeah, well, they have kind of like a group of guys. They've got like Wolf King Customs.
Yep,
and,
he's usually there. Yeah,
and Toy Forge Anthony's there, and then a whole bunch of the other guys. They all kind of get together, and that's when they're like, "Hey, you got to come join our little row here." And I'll be like, "Yeah, great." And then it was too late.
Oh.
It's all good.
I mean, one thing I found though, whenever even when back in the Toy-Con, like when they were just do that little area in the Toy-Con section, I always like, I know there's a lot of it's really popular out there, but they don't seem to run out. Like they don't I've been able to get I've ordered the Monkey King figure off of there.
Oh yeah,
they had it. I think it was last year they had them. Quite a bit of them.
I don't buy anything on their website anymore because I see them at all the shows, and they have that stuff at shows now. So
you could kind of get them faster than you would through than your website.
And it's usually a little bit cheaper because, well, now it's not. They're changing the prices, but show price was $40 and retail was $45.
Oh wow!
So, so it was like, and I'd save on shipping. I just have to wait a month or two. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of the PowerCon stuff too. Like I said, I have that weird experience of going over there and just watching a couple dudes be absolute shitbags to one another over the exclusives and stuff.
Trying to get that Demistros figure.
I was what?
The Demistros figure?
They were.
Yeah, the Cosmic Legions exclusive.
Yeah.
And it was the last day, so I was legitimately thinking about oh, maybe I'll go over there and grab one. There's no one in line, and these guys were just being shitbags to one another, and I was like, I'm good. I don't need this right now.
I don't need it that bad. Yeah, I don't really need that.
I was like, I'm
not gonna put myself in that situation.
I'll fight this another day.
Right.
And the funny thing was, I think it was Toys R Us, or not Toys R Us, Big Bad Toy Store had that Cosmic Legion sale, so I ended up getting the exclusive that I wanted for it was 40% off or something. So I was like, oh well, fuck, okay.
Yeah.
So this is coming along.
They're really strict about that though.
But
there you go.
You are a retailer again. This man loves blue paint.
I do love blue paint.
You can't discount Mythic or Cosmic Legions unless there's some kind of a
promotion,
4 Horsemen promotion. Yeah.
Oh wow.
If you have a toy store and you're authorized retail, you can't just make your own price on it.
This was BBTS, and it was all Cosmic Legions.
Mm-hmm.
And
I get it. They're a small business, and you don't want to undervalue yourself, right?
Yeah.
A good example is if I paint stuff and I put it on my site, and somebody buys it, and then they turn around and sell it. If I sell something for $40 and somebody sells it for $20, they're losing money, and it is their choice to do that. But you also have to keep in mind that an artist made that, and when you turn around and sell it at a lower rate like that, you're undervaluing them, right? Even if you're trying to move it, even if you're I just need to get rid of it, I get that, but it also looks bad for us if we're making something, pouring our heart and soul into something. You turn around and you're like, well, I bought it, I don't really care, I'll just sell it for $20. I bought it for $50. It's well, and that's not even saying it seems like you wasted your money if you did that to begin with, but I get it. Hell, there are a lot of people that there are things that I've painted that I've only ever done once or twice. And I still get messages occasionally. Somebody will say, hey, are you going to paint this again? And I don't have molds for those things anymore. It's I probably not, probably not going to do that ever again. And especially now doing more limited stuff. So it's get it. And then if it retains a value, if somebody sees it, then hey, make money off of it. Put it up, make some money off of it. You spent good money on it. Don't lose money just because you have buyer's remorse.
Right. Though the Mythic Legions line, those things never seem to go down in value. And if it does, you might lose like $5 on like one of their army builders, right? But for the most part, their main figures, if they retail at 40 to 45, you can make $60 easy on some of those figures without even thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them go for a lot more.
Yeah, that's the like sort of magic is whenever you're sitting on a figure where you're like, oh, this is worth money now. And you get that itch to see if somebody, because in the Cabal, they'll congratulate each other on spending a lot of money on something.
Yes. Yeah,
which is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. Like somebody would be like, hey, I spent $350 on this figure that was $50 when it first came out. And everyone in the group will go, nice, great job,
deal.
man.
You got a good deal.
You got a really good deal.
Right.
And I see that stuff and I'm kind of like, you guys are enablers. You guys are going to make people lose all their goddamn money.
Yeah.
But it is one of those things where that sort of enabling keeps those prices up because now you've created a standard where people will say, this one figure I own. Yeah, it's like, the Valiant Knight, what was he, 35 whenever he first, 38 whenever he first came out? And you go try and find one right now on eBay, and you're probably going to spend $70 on him.
Yep.
You know, if that.
I have 3 of them.
Yeah, and if you bought it at retail, you have no complaints. You know, I mean, I got mine at retail, but as much as I love it, I don't know if I $70 love it. you know,
right? I did that with the retro card Spider-Man. I got 3 of them because I'm a big Spidey fan, and I kind of got in a weird spot where I wanted to have one to rock and have one to stock. Like I always wanted to have like one extra one for whatever reason. I don't know what was in my brain at the time.
No, so I think most of us do that.
Right? So, but I ended up getting 3 of him because I got an extra for a friend in case he was unable to pick one up because, you know, there was timed exclusives or whatever, you know? So anyway, so I had 3 of them. I had my open one and two spare. And then I saw it going online for $110, $130. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, let's test the waters here. And I threw one up on Mercari for $110. It didn't last for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's
man.
The funny thing is I have that. So specifically with Spidey, I went back and I wanted to get like my favorite Spider-Man action figures on card to have like as a little display.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up with a lot of Spider-Man. But it was that thing of like, I want to say I found 2 of those when they were clearancing out the wave at a Target. And I have my OG one. And then I was like, oh shit, well, I'm going to grab these because, you know, A, it's Spidey. Like, you know, so it'd be fun to have one on card. And B, my son was just starting to getting into like action figures, not like little kid toys. And it was a little bit too much for him at the time, which is fine. So I was like, oh, I'll just toss it back here. And same thing, like I saw someone selling for like $150. I'm like, but what? Like I just paid like $6.95 for this. Boo Cat has a question for you, Cory. Hey, Cory, on that clown goblin head with the tiny hat, did you fit that for any of the neck balls Legion uses?
It should be fitted for the smaller neck joint on the V2. But the problem is that now they have a larger V2 neck joint that like Swig has. So now some of the goblins have a bigger ball joint. But yeah, it should be on that little one.
Right on. Look at that.
You could always do the hot glue pop, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I usually build them. I usually do epoxy inside. Okay. Yeah. I'll do epoxy inside, and then I'll wet the ball joint and pop it in there to get it nice and snug, and then I'll pop it out and let it cure. That way it has a snap whenever you pop them on.
Snap when you put them on, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do that with hot glue, but like I put a little dab, like a little Vaseline on the ball joint, and then I fill the hole of the head with hot glue. And then I'll hold it on there until the glue dries, and then cut off the access, and then it'll pop off and then pop back on.
I do the same
Seems
thing.
to work very
That's how
well.
I usually will make my drawings.
Shit. Nobody told me I spilled my paint.
Oh no.
I didn't even realize it fell.
I was done with it anyway.
Or else you're making a blue Evil Dead, but you won't be doing
I'm
it.
making a Jackson Pollock sign next.
Surprise.
What's your gray vampire there, Corey?
Oh, it's I was looking at my bin. This is one of those test shots. This is actually
Is that an authentic test shot?
Oh yeah. Yep.
And it's just sitting in your bin?
It's in he's backed up.
Oh,
I've got everything.
Man,
Yeah,
people buy those for like $300 without even blinking their eye.
Yeah, I know. I was like, we were sitting there talking about those like rarities, and then we were talking about buying doubles. The Elf Ranger is one of my favorites in the Legions line, and I wanted the test shot. I wanted the base figure. Although I've altered this one a lot. Yeah, there's a handful that I've picked up that I'm enamored with them. So it's like I'll buy an extra if I see it.
Right.
Yeah, that's one of those things where you have no self-control.
I know how that goes.
Thank you.
Stupid mousers. Oh, there we go. The 1.0 and 2.0 stuff is clear as mud to me. I was looking into it because King asked me a question, and I'm like, what the fuck? Mostly people like you said they classify things as 2.0, but then change a ball peg or some shit.
I can't keep up on 1.0 and 2.0.
I usually... So the 1.0 are going to be like knights and barbarians, right? Barbarians, orcs. So like all the like what I would consider like the standard build. But then the elves and the female characters and the goblins all have this smaller body type. So those are all
is
the
that
2.0s.
classified 2.0? Okay.
Yeah. So those are all
makes
2.0s.
sense. Thank you.
Yeah. And you can swap parts. I mean, you probably noticed that some of the male elves actually have parts. They share parts with the female bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And when you first notice it, you're like, oh, well, his legs are a little feminine. But then you're like, oh yeah, he's an elf. He's like an elf.
Sense.
You'll easily be misled. You're going to turn into a Gimli. You're like, ooh, these elves get me worked up. Gimli, no!
And super spectacular, which is weird because I thought the goblins were dwarf bodies.
Well, that's where it's weird.
Are the
goblin army builder, the deluxe army builder that's on the site right now, is a 1.0 dwarf body.
Huh.
Yeah, that's the stuff where it gets frustrating because you're like, okay, this is what goblins look like. All right. And then you see a goblin on the dwarf body, and you're like, I like that too. But now he's like real wide and chunky. He's a little juggernaut.
Corey, did you see Mixie's question? Are the
Yeah.
goblins
Oh,
on?
yeah. Yeah, those have been up for a week now.
Well,
I put a ton of work into these guys.
That's awesome. God, that's pretty.
You got that paint cracking effect that you got on there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like hand painting all the chipping and the pattern in there. Yeah, he's cool. And then I put up these not sticks heads. I don't know if you guys
That'd be
have
good
played
for
that
like
game.
a Green Goblin custom.
Ooh, right. That would be pretty cool. I don't know if you guys played that Shards of Darkness game. But you basically play as it's a goblin Metal Gear Solid.
Oh yeah,
it's great. That game is so fun, and it's got co-op, which is even better. But
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, Jason.
Shards of Darkness.
Jason nailed this. This is perfect. I can like hear his because he's got this like raspy voice, and you can just hear it when you look at the face. Yeah, he's freaking awesome.
Boink. Oh, there we go. Mixie says, "Oh, I found them." That game is why I want a snag, says Super Sprite.
Yes. Yep. But hey, I've got sticks heads on the site.
Ooh,
You just put it on. Although I wish that because Stick's outfit in the game is pretty bare bones. He's just leather armor. I wish there was something like that for the goblins. I would love to see some more variations in the armor types in Legions. That way we could kind of have the wizards kind of do it, but whenever you see them without the robes, you're like, oh, it's literally just this figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Father Christmas.
Yeah. So you see that and you're going, well, I would like to see something underneath the outfits that looks more like a bard or a ranger or even like a
That actually has
light armor
body definition.
That would be cool too.
Right.
Yeah. Man, I want the Four Horsemen to team up because he's still alive. I want them to team up with Michael Moorcock and do Elric in the Figura Obscura line. That would be amazing. That'd be the coolest thing. I would lose my shit.
Literally, Cory would poo himself.
Yeah, I would do it on the stream too.
Some people pay extra for that shit.
What's that brown paint?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that paint from? That's an interesting
He's
color.
so excited. That's a wash, baby.
It's a wash.
Oh, somebody will need a wash.
Dude, so I'm thinking that would definitely be a possibility, though, right?
What's that?
The Elric.
I mean, Moorcock is still alive. I mean,
well, that's what I'm saying. That is a legit possibility.
That would be amazing. That would be the coolest thing, because he has a slew of characters that they would, a bunch of fantasy characters they would have access to.
Yeah.
It would be something that they could use for a while too, you know.
Oh yeah. There are certain like Fritz Leiber's not around, so it'd probably be hard to do like Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser or any of like Zelazny has the Princes of Amber, and all of those would make really fun characters. But yeah, I don't know if I think Zelazny's long gone too.
You never know what they're going to come out with. They always throw you a curveball.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a lot of public domain.
Public domain. Yeah.
Hey, now it would be cool. It would be cool if they did the Nibelungen, Siegfried.
Oh, Siegfried, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
That would be badass, man. And Brunhilde, the Valkyrie.
Cory, did I ever tell you I worked on a graphic novel series of Siegfried?
Really?
Yeah.
Is that the Alex Elise one?
Yep. I worked on it when I was at Archaea, and I worked on what was supposed to be book 3, which was the final book, and never came out.
Oh, I want to see that.
It's fucking great.
Yeah, it's because he had funded that movie, that trailer for it.
Yep.
But with designs by Claire Wendling.
Yeah, it was really fucking cool. It was one of those that like legitimately I was working on, and they came as far as having a release date for it, because I was doing a bunch of translation of the back matter for it, and and then it just never came out when the Archaea Boom merger happened, and yeah, it's just a fucking heartbreaker, because I always feel dumb because my fucking hard drive exploded essentially. So I had what they had of volume 3 that was supposed to be the final volume, and just
lost it. What happened?
I don't know, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It was one of those things of, it was supposed to come out from Archaea. Archaea got bought by Boom Studios.
Okay.
And it never came out.
Damn.
It seemed like though, like a bunch of the Archaea books went over to like Lionforge, but even that Lionforge stuff sort of fell apart too.
Lionforge, that's a story for another stream.
I did some stuff for them.
Sorry.
I mean, I got paid. Okay, that was okay.
As long as you got paid, right?
Yeah, I mean, I did all. What was it? The sort of the new superheroes they were doing with Joseph Village.
Did those actually come out?
Yeah, that all came out.
No shit.
Yeah.
I didn't think that any of that came out.
No, those all came out. There's like 100 different covers they gave everything, but yeah, it all came out. But eventually, Joe left Lion Forge, and they sort of restructured, and pretty much all the characters disappeared. But yeah, and then they had what was that? They had their like the European side of it, which they had a couple of things there, but I don't remember what happened to any of those.
I don't know. I know at one point they bought Oni Press.
Yeah, they did. Which meant, does that mean that Sean Gordon Murphy's book is underneath? Was it underneath them too?
I don't know.
Off Road.
I think Off Road technically would be.
I think it's his now.
Yeah.
I think it was. I think the only thing that Oni Press does now is like reprints of Scott Pilgrim, right?
Definitely seems like it.
The only book that matters, Scott Pilgrim.
This one gives us money.
I gotta make a Scott Pilgrim sign. Someone's been asking me for it. I keep forgetting.
Pilgrim.
I'll always remember I think it was my first SPX that I tabled at. I tabled next to Brian Lee O'Malley and Hope Horse. Like, and Scott Pilgrim Volume 1 was like just coming out, so it wasn't a thing yet.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, this is kind of cool. Oh, wow, this book looks kind of fun. Little did I know.
Super Spike. This is the Fire and Ice Panther. I wish it was the, what's her name? Guinevere that comes with Driz. That figure is awesome.
Oh,
and
man.
Epic Badger, I would buy Beowulf and Grendel.
Oh, that would be an awesome
cool.
set.
Yeah, that would be an amazing figure obscura.
Yeah, totally. Talk to Jeremy about that one. You know how many suggestions they must get?
Oh, yeah, the problem is when somebody loves what you do so much, you're just going to get flooded with, you should do this instead.
Uh-huh.
Buy the
I think
thing
we all
make.
run into that, right?
Yeah.
God,
buy the thing I make, please.
God, I get that so often. If you did this, it would sell so many. Well, I'm glad that you would buy it,
Yeah, that's a really hard part is
can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this?
Yeah, and the weird thing about that is you'll get people not just within our like toy community. Sometimes you'll have like family, like if you did this instead, it's like go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And they have zero like inside like
no business.
No business. Have you ever thought of doing that? I bet you that would sell really good. No.
Yeah, I had a relative try and talk me into getting into leatherworking. They were like, "You're good at like craft stuff, but you do like toy things. Have you thought about doing leatherworking like your grandfather did? Like you really should do that. You should carry on the legacy." It's like, what is going on here right
Mitch
now?
Hedberg joke is like, "You're really funny, but can you write?" And it's like, what the hell does he say? Like, just because you do something doesn't mean like you can do the adjacent thing to it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, it's you're a great cook. Can you butcher or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
There was an entire summer where every single one of the NASCAR jokes were fucking gold. Just
NASCAR.
I didn't know what NASCAR was. I just thought, damn, that guy really likes Tide.
He really likes Tide. Yeah. That's great. Man, that guy really likes Tide.
Minnesota's own.
Dufresne, party of 4. What happened to the Dufresnes? Who can eat at a time like this? Bush, search party of 2.
I don't know where. So anytime we talk about food, my brother, I don't know where he picked up this joke, but he always goes, "You telling me this beef is stroganoff?" He's, I ain't eating that.
I mean, that's my joke. What do you call a masturbating cow? Beef stroganoff.
Oh no!
Oh no! He learned it from you. He learned it by watching you.
Yeah,
I learned it from watching you. All right.
Oh no!
Instagram
Yeah, it's
Live.
one of my all-time favorite jokes. Well, think about it. I mean, think about before viral videos, before the internet, before viral videos. Like we all knew the same jokes. No, we all knew the same jokes, right? We all knew like I go pee pee in your Coke, or we all knew any of those little rhymes and things just from you heard it from someone, you heard it from someone, you heard it from someone. Just as kids, and so yeah, he heard that beef stroganoff from somewhere.
Now we all get the same jokes immediately. If a new meme comes out, your friends can all send it to you at the exact same time, and then your uncle can send it to you 5 years later and act like he had never seen it before.
Yes.
This is the funniest damn thing. Like, yeah, I've seen it a lot.
You're at the family party. Did you see that one? Like,
yeah.
Uncle Robert, I did see it.
There's these funny pictures on the internet. I don't know what they're called, but look at this one.
What
Have you seen that meme? They call them memes or memes.
Yeah.
Right?
How come your meme has all these pictures? They're funny.
We really are in a weird generation right now, aren't we? Because we grew up
fucking broken.
Adopting technology, right? So we came from not having cable, not having cell phones, having rotary phones, having a wall phone with a 40-foot cord, right?
Yeah.
Having to change the channel on the TV using an antenna, that kind of stuff. And we've adopted cable, we've adopted the internet, we've adopted all of this technology. But like our kids have no idea what like a rotary phone is, or a cassette player, a CD player, or any of that stuff. So, they're getting all that instant gratification, where we used to have to sit in Barnes and Noble and read joke books to each other on the floor.
My car has a cassette player, and I have a bunch of old cassettes because I like old music, and I'm not ashamed. I'll buy old music. Like I went into, we have half price books here, and they always have old tapes, and I'll buy whatever, and we had some friends that I was picking up, and one of their kids was in my car, and they were like, "What is this?" And they were looking at my box, and I had all my cassettes in there. They were like, "What is this?" And I was like, "That's music." They were like, "How does it work? Like, what do you put this into?" Great. And I'm like, "The cassette player right here." They were like, "Well, how do you pick the song?"
You don't.
Well, you see, in my day, we had to listen to the whole fucking thing on one side and then turn it over.
The later cassette players had the ability to.
I was just going to say that it could find that. It could find that pause between songs and stop there. Yeah.
It worked a lot like an 8-track, kind of like that.
Oh, wow.
Where it sort of stopped on it.
I literally was about to say that I had one where it would actually stop for you. We were just talking this weekend about trying to listen in to the radio, and you had your blank tape in the tape player, and you're trying to hit record and play at the same time, just so that you hear the intro to your song real quick, and you're like, "Oh, it's a new Red Hot Chili Peppers song," and you're trying to hit play and record at the same time, make your own little
fucking girls. This is not a drill.
Oh man, they're playing
Under the Bridge.
They're playing on the bridge. Money Banks of the Wisco with Nirvana Live.
Yes, they're playing Nirvana Unplugged.
You're playing,
Polly's on, quick.
Oh my god.
Playing record.
They're playing Closer by Nine Inch Nails.
What was it that I was talking to someone the other day, and they're like, who had Johnny Cash doing the greatest cover of a Nine Inch Nails song ever?
Right?
Bingo card. And
yeah.
Like, fucking nobody. Because nobody was sitting there going, one of these days, Johnny Cash. that motherfucker is gonna fucking
He's
just be like, hey,
it's like, I like this song from this band called
I feel
Nigel.
this. 7-inch screw.
It was between it was between Closer and Hurt.
Yeah, I was gonna say, could you imagine him singing Closer? I would like that.
The problem is if you take another song like Rusty Cage, it does not have the same effect at all because it's just Johnny Cash going, I'm gonna break, I'm gonna break, I'm gonna break, and you're like, okay, this is kind of shit.
He's gonna break
it needs, yeah, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna go listen to something else.
You wired me and hit me with a hand of broken rail.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
What am I singing right now?
Yeah.
Where am
I?
Oh, what?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? Ask why I didn't take. I don't know. I'm trying to read it, but had to work it to his nephew, who he once got lost. Nephew asked why he didn't take a look at Google Maps. Sorry, that was not coming through.
That was tough. Yeah, that was
How
tough.
are you handling the joints? I took this thing apart a while ago because I was going to prep it for doing a metallic wash on it. And so it already kind of has been primed. I'm basically just going to button up these shoulders. And then I got to call it, actually, because I got to get to bed because my son's school starts stupid early in the morning. Mm-hmm. And I am on
Thursday here.
Duty. But I made it through pretty much the whole body.
Look at that. God.
You did it.
But I got the hands and the head left to do, but I'm going to let this cure up overnight, and then I'll get on those probably tomorrow. Maybe I'll do that on Grippin' and Rippin', I don't know. But I was like, I'm going to do all the big bulky action and just get that shit done. But I do want to throw it around the horn real quick so everybody can pitch what they got coming up, where people can find them, all that jazz. So we'll start down there with Emilio. Emilio, what you got coming up, man?
Nothing much. I mean, I'm going to be at Retrocon, but I'm not like, working in the room. I'm just helping a buddy of mine at the table. If you go to Retro Raiders, that's going to be the table that I'm going to be hanging out with my buddy. He's just selling off his old, some of his, old toys that he's, wanted to get rid of. That's about it. Nothing special. That's all I got going on. And then obviously every Thursday and Sunday you have a Throwdown Show, which will be I will be hosting. It'll be the 501 episode because our host Tony is out in Europe doing journalist things. So yeah, you can also find me at Emanland
everywhere.
Pretty much everywhere.
Everywhere. All right. And we will toss it over to Damion. Damion, what you got going on? Where can people find you?
Well, I will also be at Retrocon, manning my own booth, and where you can get these wonderful wares of mine this weekend in Oaks, PA. And then the following weekend, I'll be at ToyCon New Jersey in Morristown, New Jersey. And other than that, you can find me online at D Blake Makes on all social medias.
Hell yeah. Cory.
Hey, I finished up some of these Spidey heads this morning.
Nice.
They're on the site right now. I finished some other ones I haven't taken photos of yet. They're going to be one-offs.
What thing do you suggest putting those on?
Oh, these are all for the Mafex. Now, the one-offs here have open sockets on, and I'm not sure what to do. If I should leave the open sockets and let people put them on whatever. I did color match them to the Mafex, and I have some really nice sockets that I kind of want to use in them. But yeah, if you guys, I'll take some pictures. I'll let you guys let me know. These are all socketed for the Mafex already and color matched. They're pretty sweet. I think they're based off the PS4 design, but it's so close to the Ramita eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, that's why I was asking, because that looks really nice.
Yeah, these are crispy.
I was asking because I want to know what Spidey I can put that on.
Yeah,
I have all of the Spideys. So.
Hell yeah. And then I did some of the Styx heads. Those are on the site. That little crescent helmet goblin is on the site. I still have Morph up. Yeah, and Dave was like, "I'm gonna get one from you," and then somebody sent him one. I don't know what heathen did such a thing. But
It's
if
the smirking
yeah, but you don't have the surprise ones.
I know.
God, they're so bright. They're not. I promise, they're not this bright in person.
Mm-hmm.
It's my lights. But yeah,
we need bright
really
lights.
Cool. Oh yeah, I've got to have bright lights, otherwise I can't see all the detail. My old man eyes got to be able to see everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so those are up. What else have I done? Those goblin shamans I've shown off. I have a bunch of orcs still on the site. There's always stuff. Go to castingcave.ecreator.com and check it out. I'm gonna start. I've got to send some business cards to Josh, but I did get some stickers, so I'm gonna start throwing some of these stickers in the boxes.
I would like a sticker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Which, by the way, Damion, that package went out today.
Oh, thank you, Dave. Awesome.
Yeah. You can find me right here every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Monday is Let's Talk Toys. Tuesday is this Choppin Shop. Tomorrow night, Grippin' and Rippin'. Gonna be a real fun one. I got that other Walmart exclusive Venom to open. I got some Sentinels to open. It's gonna be a good time. Make sure to swing on by. I'll probably be finishing up my MVC Blue Venom. I'll probably be working on that a little bit tomorrow night. But yeah, and then I am going up to Williston, North Dakota for BakkenCon this weekend. So I'll be up there this weekend hanging out with Ming Chen and Mike Kingston from Headlock Comics. Very excited for that. But I will still be back tomorrow. So one more stream, one more night of Cyclops Eyes. It's a good time. You can find me on X at Dave Wheeler. You can find me on Instagram at the Dave Wheeler. You can find me on Patreon, Kara, and Blue Sky at Dave Wonder. You can find me, most importantly, over at Extra Life, extra-life.org/participant/Dave Wonder. We are up to $3,500 raised for children's cancer treatment and research from just the mini marathons, which is dope. Thank you all for your donations and your generosity. I shipped off pretty much everything of the raffle prizes and stuff today, except for Toy du Jours, because I got your address today, so that'll go out tomorrow. I guess I'll send Cory's package out too. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. So thank you everybody for being a part of the conversation. Thank you, Emilio. Thank you, Damion. Thank you, Cory. Thank you, Matt, wherever you are.
Thanks for the invite.
And yeah, I will catch you all tomorrow. So until then, be good, be kind. Much love from Minnesota. Good night, everybody.